Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Anna Morfides with Wendy Hearts Counseling. And today we are continuing with our book, The Magic. We are on day 26. We get an extra week of practicing gratitude. And I have to say, I have not stopped starting my day with my gratitude ever since. And I have not stopped using my thoughts to find the thing that I'm the most grateful for each day. And also always saying thank you in my mind about most things that I'm experiencing when I remember, just even when I'm writing work emails. Today was like a really long work day. And then even when I was going into my work day, I was envisioning in my mind exactly how it was gonna go and my meeting with my boss. And it went really wonderful. So even though I feel drained, I do feel super grateful. So this is a good way to be because it prevents me from having other thoughts that would feel more challenging and or just heavier thoughts about how challenging or hard, for lack of better words, life can be, because it requires us to work and use our brain, and it's summertime and we might be getting a little bit less sleep than usual, but we magically transform our lives, no matter what's going on, with gratitude back into coherence and joy. And today is even another favorite chapter of mine because it's called Magically Transforming Your Mistakes into Blessings. And mistakes are actually opportunities for us to learn and to grow. I feel like also there is no such thing as mistakes. Yes, as human beings, we try the best that we can every single day, and then we take actions or we say things at certain times that are not aligned with who we want to be or how we want to show up in this world, and that experience to me is the so-called mistake. So essentially it's a learning lesson, and it's definitely a way to know how I want to be acting or what I want to be saying in the future. What feels good for me, but unless I try it, I won't really know. And I'd rather try and know and learn than spend my whole life wishing and thinking, what if? Because after I read that book as well, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, we really don't want to give ourselves an opportunity to exit this beautiful human experience where we are literally unlimited in opportunities to experience as humans. I don't really want to leave here without knowing that I did the best that I could to pursue everything to the furthest that I possibly could take it to, even if that furthest that I took it to at times is definitely not aligned with the human being that I want to show up, or is in alignment with the integrity that I hold dear in my heart. And I've certainly done mistakes and said things I shouldn't have said, done things I shouldn't have done, but I only knew what other action to take by taking that action in the first place, and understanding that this is not in alignment with who I want to be and how I want to show up. So also that mistake is a redirection for me to become my best version and have my focus go towards other life experiences. So without further ado, magically transforming mistakes into blessings. And of course, this is when we need ourselves to be the kindest to us, and our self-talk to be the kindest to us, is when we make these so-called mistakes. This is when we need ourselves the most, right? This is when we need the most self-love, the most compassion, the most care, the most forgiveness. And we can create that forgiveness by literally forgiving ourselves. And also we can go as far as even writing a letter and expressing how sorry we are to the person and or situation that we may have affected through our mistakes, and apologize for that too, and then forgive ourselves so we can let go of that situation from being part of our energetic blueprint as a mistake, and rather it now be transmuted into a beautiful lesson that we've learned and we grew and we forgave it, we gave it to God, and we magically transform our mistakes into blessings. So every single mistake is a blessing in disguise, says Rhonda, the author of this book. And Oprah Winfrey, she said, turn your wounds into wisdom, because truly every single mistake is a blessing in disguise. Today's magical practice will prove it, because you're about to discover that there are actually untold blessings hidden within every mistake. And that book that I read, Why Me, Why This, Why Now, by I forget her name, but I'll put it in the description box. This is all filled with stories like that as well. The hidden treasure about something that happens that is actually the blessing of that experience that we're supposed to be absorbing, so then we can continue to ride the gratitude of wave and joy and love, in order to continue to be in alignment of life and not go into suffering by guilt and shaming ourselves for having that experience in the first place. A child makes many mistakes while learning how to ride a bike or write, and we don't give it a second thought, because we know that through their mistakes they will learn and eventually master what they're trying to do. So why is it that adults are so hard on themselves when they make a mistake? The same rule that applies to children also applies to you. We all make mistakes, and if we didn't make them, we'd never learn anything, and we wouldn't grow any smarter or any wiser. We have the freedom to make our own choices, and that means we have the freedom to make mistakes. Mistakes can hurt, but if we don't learn from the mistake we've made, the pain we've suffered, it has been for nothing. In fact, by the law of attraction, we will make the same mistake over and over again until the consequences hurt us so much that we finally learn from it. It's the very reason why mistakes hurt, so that we do learn from them and we don't make them repeatedly. To learn from a mistake, we first have to own it. And this is where many people can become undone, because they often blame someone else for their mistake. And this is what shadow work is. Shadow work is owning those dark parts of yourself where you want to hide in guilt and shame, but no, you bring it to the light and you own it and we process it. Let's consider the scenario of being pulled over by the police for speeding and being given a speeding ticket. Instead of taking responsibility for the fact that we were speeding, we blame the police because they were hiding in the bushes on the highway around a bend. We couldn't even see them. And they had a radar gun, and so we didn't stand a chance. But the mistake was ours because we were the ones who were to speed. The problem with blaming other people for our mistake is that we will still suffer the pain and consequences of our mistake. We didn't learn from it, and so bingo, we attract making the same mistake again. You are human, you will make mistakes, and it's one of the most beautiful things about being humans, but you must learn from your mistakes, otherwise your life will have a lot of unnecessary pain. How do you learn from your mistake? Gratitude. No matter how bad something may seem, there are always many things to be grateful for. When you look for as many things as you can to be grateful for in a mistake, you magically transform the mistake into blessings. Mistakes attract more mistakes, and blessings attract more blessings. Which would you prefer? Today, think about a mistake that you made in your life. It doesn't matter whether it was a big or small mistake, but choose one that still hurts when you think about it. Maybe you lost your temper with a person close to you and the relationship hasn't been the same since. Maybe you put blind faith in another person and got burned. Maybe you told a white lie to protect someone, and because of it, you ended up in a difficult situation. You might have chosen the cheaper option on something, and it all went wrong and ended up costing you a whole lot more. You might have thought you were making the right decision about something, but it completely backfired on you. Once you've chosen a mistake to magically transform into a blessing, look for the things to be grateful for. To help you, there are 2 questions you can ask yourself. What did I learn from the mistake? What are the good things that came out of the mistake? Or I would even use a different word, like, what did I learn from this situation? What are the good things that came out of this situation? The most important things to be grateful for about every mistake are the things you learned from it. And no matter what the mistake, there are always many good things that came out of it and altered your future for the better. Think this through very carefully and see if you can find a total of 10 blessings to be grateful for. Every blessing you find has a magical power. Write out your list in a gratitude journal or type them out on a computer. Let's take the example of being caught speeding by a police car and receiving a fine. I'm grateful for the police for wanting to protect me from harming myself because after all, that was all they were trying to do. I am grateful to the police because if I am honest with myself, I was thinking about other things and I wasn't concentrating on the road. I am grateful for the police because it was foolish to put myself at risk speeding. I'm grateful to the police for the wake-up call. Being pulled over did affect me and it will make me watch my speed and drive more carefully in the future. And you get the point. Last one being, am I grateful to the police for making sure I arrived home safely and walked through the door to my family as I usually do. And of course that we didn't have any crashes or hurt any other people. So I would strongly urge you to take any mistakes you've made in your life that you still feel bad about, and in your own time, follow this magnificent and magical practice. Think about it. Through one mistake, you have the power to bring many blessings. What else guarantees dividends like that? I feel like I cannot wait to do this practice because there was one experience that I had not that long ago that brought out so much shame from within me, but I knew why that was happening. I really needed to release this shame. So I needed this experience to come forward so I can even know how much shame lives within my body anyways. And I'm going to write out 10 things that I'm grateful for that experience. And now every time I think about it, I don't cringe so much anymore. I don't want to crawl under a rock and hide. I don't really give much meaning to it, but I also know that I don't want to show up like this person ever again. And I definitely have learned. So again, we're going to do this practice, but we're also going to say the 10 things that we're grateful for in our life, including 5 things that we're grateful for about ourselves, so we can continue to cultivate that positive self-talk, that positive inner critic that Louise Hay really loves us to do. And if we want, we can even hold our mirror and do our mirror work while we say our words of gratitude to ourselves. So I'm so grateful to you, Anna, that no matter what is going on in your life with your children or within your own heart and your relationships, connections, you always show up 100% at work and are always willing to give 100% of yourself to yourself and those around you in unconditional love, and always accepting everything and anyone as they are without expecting them to be any different, but also knowing when to stay somewhere and when to go. So not change, like if it's like this contract that's ending right now, I am so grateful for it. And I had my last meeting with my boss today and it's been such a wonderful experience, but I know that it's not aligned for me to continue with a different project because I'm definitely meant to be doing something else. But if I let the fear of staying there override my natural like desire to not participate in a similar project again, that's not okay. So like knowing to give gratitude and knowing when to walk away from something that's not serving without fear is really powerful as well. So, and then when we go to bed at the end of the night, we're gonna hold our magic rock and we're gonna try to think of the thing that happened to us today that we feel the most grateful for. That way we stop ruminating about the things that were mistakes or so perceived mistakes or challenge situations. So then we can go to sleep with our mind more at ease and more at peace with itself and where we are today. To give ourselves like an opportunity and an advantage to have a better night's sleep, so we can wake up and have a better day's morning and a better day's worth of work, and etc., etc. And I really do feel, wow, maybe this is the card. I'm going to pull some power thoughts from the Louise Hay affirmation deck. This is something that the collective would love to hear today. What message is it that we need to know in this age of Aquarius, as we are all doing the work to magically raise the vibration of the human consciousness and really create that new earth, like Eckhart Tolle says? And what better way to raise the human vibration and consciousness than to do it through gratitude? So these are the cards and the affirmations that we're going to be working on today. I am totally adequate for all situations. This is perfect, including any mistakes. We are completely adequate to handle them all. I am one with the power and wisdom of the universe. I claim this power, and it is easy for me to stand up for myself because I am totally adequate for all situations, including my so perceived mistakes. I embrace those fully. I learn my lessons, and because we are one with the power of the universe. And the other one that we would benefit from saying to ourselves is, I accept my uniqueness. There is no competition and no comparison, for we are all different and meant to be that way. I am special and wonderful. I love myself, and so it is, and I love you, and thank you so much for being here with me on day 26. I hope you're still enjoying these wonderful little workshops, and maybe I'm gonna pull a card or affirmation for the rest of the time that we're going to do our little gratitude course. And yes, thank you so much for any likes, subscribes, any notification buttons that you hit so you don't miss my next videos. And I will see you next time